RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode. What it do? So enough of that.
Yes, our final topic of the night.
Final topic.
Yeah, let's get back to boxing life. Like, let's get back to the regular scheduled programming. No carny shit here.
Yeah.
No. But I don't know. That was some good carny shit though.
No, it was some good carny shit.
It was funny as shit.
But yes, our regular boxing, because we have another significant pay-per-view fight, and it is pay-per-view on Fox, for next Saturday. Main event,
Ooh.
Errol, making the first defense of his unified welterweight belts against Danny Swift Garcia.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Left hooks.
Now, I mean, to me, this fight is either one or two things that's going to happen.
All right, I gotta ask, Pat. I gotta ask. So, how many rounds have you given Spence on your scorecard so far?
Nah, this fight's not worth that energy because
I'm glad he remembered.
that fight's not worth that type of energy because Spence, we all know what the fuck is how he's gonna take punches, and Danny Garcia is struggle boxing to me. So who knows? Like if Danny,
Nigga, I text you Saturday night before the fight, and you'll have 4 rounds already up on some
the only thing that's for certain is whoever loses, depending how they lose, will probably get some scathing criticism from me. That's for damn sure.
Bro, you go in on the 147 division more than any other division. Like, get out of
Fucking
here.
right. I told you I'm disgusted with one because remember 5 years ago I complained about 147 and 154.
Yo, this
In 2020 I praise 154 all the time, and I shit on 147. Something is wrong.
This when it comes to fucking 147, this nigga Pat is like the Uncle Ruckus. Like he's like Uncle Ruckus of the Boondocks when it comes to 147. Like he gives them all the smoke.
Yeah, when 147 actually produces the actual fight of the year, like the best fight of the year, then then we can talk about that. But right now 147 is trash. It's remained trash with one decent year. So that's why I said with this fight is for this fight I'm just a spectator. I'm just gonna sit there sipping my Henny slowly and seeing how this fight plays
Henny
out.
white or Henny black or Henny mid?
I was gonna say, Henny, what?
I don't know. I have all three Henny, so I don't know.
I was saying you must have got it from somewhere else because we don't sell Henny White in the States.
You don't know about my Henny Whites. Like I have like 6 bottles of that shit, bro.
Damn.
So, which Henny you drinking, nigga?
Dope fiend with some bottles.
I mean, I'm not gonna complain because you know what I'm saying. We complain too much about the top guys at welterweight not fighting each other. So if we can get it once in a while, then fuck it, whatever. We got it.
No problem.
I'm living for this right now. Go at it for the people who are not at the top. Let's go for it.
It's Mr. Cynical, Mr. Old Man, Mr. Father MC, Mr. fucking Pat Scorpio.
No,
Yeah, but he's got to charge up. He's got to charge up.
He does have some valid points, but here I don't. Here you can't complain here because
That's the thing, it's like Pat be flexing
No,
too.
Pete, that's what we're talking about. Like, we know he's valid, but I'm like, nah, this ain't not the time. We're just here to be a fool.
Yeah. Now,
Nah,
147
the fight's good. So hold on, Pat, who? What's your prediction? I'm just going right into it. What the fuck is your prediction since you don't care so much?
No, this fight is. I mean, it's probably going to be Spencer's going to outwork this nigga for a 12-round decision. Yeah, because everyone knows low work rate, Danny Garcia go hand in hand. So it's like. And then the only thing that'll keep Danny upright is the fact that he has a caveman chin. And that's pretty much like this. I mean, I'm not expecting the fight of the year candidate out of this thing. Like it's gonna be one or the other. Either Spence.
No, I just want to get a bit more technical answers. That's all I want.
Damn, dude. Like, hold on. Like, let him finish first.
I'm not, PJ. I'm not getting technical on this fight. I told you that. This fight is either Spence's injuries make his punch resistance a little bit, fucked, or Danny Garcia gets outworked like he usually does. It's one or the other. I'm not. That's how.
So basically, if Danny Garcia wins, it's a lucky punch.
I'll get technical.
I wouldn't say it's a lucky punch. I'd say Spence is fucked. That's part of the. That's that's what's gonna happen. If Spence wins, it's because Danny Garcia can't kick himself in the second gear to actually throw more than 8 punches per round. But there's no technical shit on this one. That's exactly how either one's going to go.
So final prediction, because you ain't got no bars.
I said Spence will be a 12-round decision over Danny Garcia.
Unanimous?
Unanimous, yes.
What, 117, 111, what?
It's going to be probably a 116, 112 type of fight.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then Danny gets sent down to Jabber to the Stars. He's
Lord, cut that shit out.
When you lose to Thurman, Porter, and Spence, what the fuck am
a top guy lost to other top guys. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I don't consider Danny a top guy at welterweight.
Oh, okay. I've heard enough from you.
Hold on. Okay, wait. All right, we gotta define Danny Garcia and top guy. If you don't consider him a top guy, like, well, what do you rank him now at welterweight in the top 10? Where do you put him?
Probably like between 5 and 10.
Between 5 and 10?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So hold on. So ahead of him, I'm throwing names. You let me know if they're ahead of him.
Crawford is one of them, just so we can get that out of the way.
Hush!
Let's get that out of the way. Crawford is ahead of Danny Garcia, and if they ever fought, Danny Garcia would get the box less than
Pat, wait and see first, my G.
No.
Wait.
I want to make sure that's understood.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm tired of Pat milking this over. I'm tired of Pat milking this over. Okay, the names are Crawford, Spence, Thurman, Porter, and Pacquiao. So that's 5. Put him at 6, and that's it. Like I don't want because I'm not gonna allow this nigga to put in mental gymnastics and put in fucking Ugas or Jamal James into the picture.
Facts. Nah. I agree.
I'm gonna take the bullet out of his chamber before he even puts it in.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Like Danny Garcia being number 6, I respect that. But the thing is about number 6 is always, right there because
hey, let them do what they do.
Delorme, I'm sorry, not Delorme. Jamal James, guys like you guys, they're fighting for that 6th spot. Danny has to win. If he loses that 6th spot though.
Oh yeah, Jay, let him do. Let him do. Let him go.
I mean, it's like, so okay. We established that he's ranked number 6. Then, like, we cool. So, he's still not a top guy, like top 10. Like,
let's wait and see.
Would you give Spence credit for the win?
Let's wait.
I would just he just beat him. Like, the only Spence fights that I care about are Crawford or Pacquiao. Really, I don't. Danny Garcia is just because he's a mandatory. It's not a fight that I say like, yay. It's there because Danny Garcia somehow he beats he beats what's his name in a horrid fight and he's number 1 contender again. So it's like, yeah, what am I going to be excited about?
All I'm saying is that let's wait. Let's wait till everything.
There we go. Ivan Redcast. So that's the motherfucker. Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's contender again. Like, give me a break.
It's a better fight than Jacobs Rosado.
No, I'm calling on Jade. I'm just saying that you should have done that, but I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Jesus, PJ, you drinking?
No, I'm paying attention. Yeah,
because I'm like, this nigga voice slurring. I'm like, what the fuck is going over there?
Definitely drinking.
Yo, this nigga PJ lit.
Oh, damn. Like, I was like, hold on.
Go ahead.
I was like, the fight party's still going.
No, I'm paying attention. That's all I'm like.
Yeah,
All
but
right, so, okay.
enough about my views on that. LB or P, wax your poetics on this.
I guess
King P was already warming up, so let him get his Winter Wars verse.
Okay, so before I bomb atomically, let me just take this out the way. I'm not including the Spence injury thing into this because the doctors cleared him. I don't know. I'm not going to play psychological, armchair, methodical, whatever. So let me take that bullet out right there. So it might be a factor, but I'm going to go under the assumption that he's fine. So take that as it may be. So
Agreed.
I feel like this fight can go two ways, depending on which path Spence wants to take in this fight. Does he want to go the Mikey way? Because I don't care what you think about Danny and his abilities or lack thereof. He's still a very dangerous fighter. We know his weaknesses, but we know his strengths too. There's a reason why motherfucker Thurman waxes poetic about his power every time he gets the chance. So let's just throwing that out there. So which way does he want to go? Does he want to go the safe route? He can go the safe route, knowing Danny's power and his counter punches, and he can just keep him the distance, jab, because Spence has the jab, just jab him, 1-2, throw some body shots out there. That would be the smart thing, because have Danny, don't give Danny a chance to get in range to throw those shots that we know he likes to throw, the left hook and the counter right. He can do that, and I don't see him. If he goes that route, I think he'll just pull away with it, outbox him. He can do that, but he might not want to do that because he did catch a lot of flack for that before when he did it with Mikey. I don't know. He can go the other route, and he can show that he's still the Spence of old, the Spence that we know him as, the downhill attack and destroy, welterweight Golovkin, as people liked to call him back then. But you know what it is. So he can go and try to pressure him, methodical pressure, body shots on the inside, like we saw with the old with Algeria and all those. Does he want to do that though? Because now you're giving Danny the best chance that he has, because he's going to be in range. We all know the left hook. We all know he has a left hook. Mind you, left hooks are like, when it comes to southpaws, are something else. So really, and he could still survive that, but I don't know if he wants to, because that's the other thing is, unlike Porter and Thurman, I don't think, like people say Spence has footwork. I don't see the footwork in there that he can get away with some of that stuff like Thurman and Porter could, because both of them have better footwork.
Yeah,
if he
easily.
If he goes that route, maybe the one thing that he can do with the body, because the body shots could really help him, because Danny, like most people, don't like going to the body. So, because that was the one thing when Peterson was fighting him at the end, he was going to the body and it was hurting him. But now you're giving Danny a chance to counter every time. So do you really want to play that game? He can go that route and he could still win, but he also risks now getting hurt, because we've seen Spence get hurt before. Spence was buzzed in the Porter fight. Porter definitely rocked him at least twice. And we all know that Danny has way more power than Porter. No disrespect to Porter, but Danny's just on another level of power. So
he's just a better puncher, period. Like,
that's what I'm saying. So do you want to give Danny those chances? So I think he could still win, and I think Spence is talented enough that he could still win either way, but going that second route is going to put him in a lot of danger. He might be best if
he gonna be in danger both ways, because Spence footwork ain't, he could do that to Mikey Garcia, who's more undersized, than Danny Garcia is, and shit, Mikey Garcia don't even have Danny Garcia footwork. Like, you think he's gonna be chasing after? Come on, man. Like, that shit ain't gonna work like that. If Spence tries to do that footwork shit, it might win him some rounds, give him some distance for a while, but it ain't gonna last that long.
Well, I mean, then we also play it not like I was gonna say the other factor with Danny is for that factor, it's all about, okay, well, what's his economic output gonna be like? Because he said he's gonna throw more punches, but we never really know what to trust in that case. So if he throws more punches, then yes, you are right. But
that's the thing. Like, Garcia could beat Spence with his like regular routine. It just Spence, unless Spence is perfect. That's the thing. I don't think Spence is going to be perfect.
But I don't think he has to be. I think he can do just enough to really frustrate Danny and just take away his best tools away from him for most of the fight.
Do that without getting caught with anything. Like, even Porter got caught with some.
He's gonna get caught with something. There's no doubt about it. He's gonna get caught with something.
He just need that one good something, though.
I don't think he's gonna get caught enough to where, if he plays his cards right, he won't get caught enough to where that's a big factor. I mean, who knows? But I think he can make this fight easier on himself, or he can make this really hard on himself. And he's talented enough to win both ways, but I don't think he should go that route.
Man, honestly, I think it's gonna be worse for him than trying to fucking fight backwards. Like, I think it's possible, like, he could tire himself out and get fucking Danny looping shots at him, because he's gonna get caught with something. I don't trust Spence footwork for a whole 12-round fight. And even though we know we trying to take out the accident as a factor, it's still that, it's still a factor.
I mean, we can count that as a factor. I just made my whole thing without that. If you want to,
I think it's good to do that because it makes you focus on the style and the matchup itself.
Because if you want to include that factor, then that's just a whole nother can of worms, and then this whole equation just turns upside down. It's not a whole.
I only include that factor for Danny though, as far as like for him winning, like his offense.
Okay.
It's almost like putting a +2 on his power.
But ultimately, when it comes down to it, me personally, my prediction is I think that for the most part, Spence will just try to he'll play a little bit of both, but I think I can see him just going the safe route and trying to just unanimous decision, 116-112 type fight. I can still see him getting hurt, though. I can still see him getting hurt either way. And I think Danny will have his moments. But I just think that Spence's talent will come through in the end. And the good factors that he has, I think, will get him enough to win this fight.
Yeah, so it's a Spence one. So you saying it's Spence 116-112 decision, just like me?
You just had a more respectable Pat score. Like, you had a more respectable Pat breakdown. I mean,
yeah. So like, we just said the same thing.
Nah, but it's like the King P actually had, like, he was respectful about it. You know what I mean? He had more details. You know what I mean? Like, I see what you're saying, because like Bread Man kind of said something similar in his mailbag last week about the way like Spence has 2 ways he could fight him. And I know we've mentioned that before with how Mikey Garcia fought him and how he could fight that way. And
well, I mean, Mikey isn't Danny. They're 2 totally different people. So what he did with Mikey won't work with Danny, and vice versa.
But that's the thing. Everybody keeps bringing it up. Like, well, if he does the whole footwork shit, he could do what he did to Mikey. Ain't that a part of what you said?
Yeah, true.
But the thing is, y'all telling me like, okay, so we know his footwork ain't as good as Thurman and Porter's, where he could do that for 12 rounds with a guy like Danny, you know. So if he could do that for 7 rounds, he could win the fight. But then with Danny Garcia, like, I know there's gonna be some swing rounds involved. It's gonna be, I don't know, man. Me personally, I think I could see a draw or a Danny Garcia win. But if it's a win, it's gonna be a straight knockout. But if it's a close fight, honestly, I feel like they're not gonna want Spence to lose. But he'll look bad enough where they'll give him a draw.
Personally, I can't see a Danny win without one knockdown. So do you think he's gonna knock him down?
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? It could be interesting if he drops him.
It could be a looping shot coming over a hook.
And in this case, I think the left hook is the key, because it's funny because everybody talks about Danny's left hook, and usually I'm the guy that says, don't forget about his overhand right. That's usually the one you got to watch out for more than the left hook. People be sleeping on Danny's overhand right, but I think in this case, it's definitely the left hook, because that's a southpaw's kryptonite.
I think he could catch him with both, because it's not like Spence is gonna move his head like that. You know how many times Porter caught him with overhand and or overhand. Even Porter caught him with a few straights. So Danny throws a decent straight. So like he don't like Spence's reach is what's gonna really help him in this fight. But I feel like if he keeps Danny going backwards and not able to fucking really, you know, set and counter, like honestly, like if Spence employs the Peterson plan from the last 2 rounds of the Garcia fight, he could put a beating. I feel like he could put a beating on Garcia.
And you better put on some weight to do that.
He could do it, but this is the thing. He has to do that from the get. He got to be that educated jab, aggressive, firing off all cylinders, pushing Danny backwards. Those step-in jabs, like.
Oh, so you think he should go option 2, but that also leaves Danny a lot of that's giving him just more options that's giving him more room to get his money shots in.
Not necessarily. That's the thing. Look, I'm talking about the type of pressure I'm talking about where you almost have to sacrifice your back foot. Like you have to reset your back foot type of pressure where if you don't, you might fall. That's the type of pressure I'm talking about. The type of pressure where you step in deep with the jab or the double jab and you push somebody back to the ropes type of pressure.
Okay.
Offset somebody completely so they can't counter. Because usually the only people who can really counter like that are people who counter on the run, on the move, footwork. A guy like Thurman could counter like that. That's why it didn't matter how many times Porter was able to push him around and chase him around. Because Thurman's used to throwing on the move like that. Danny Garcia don't really throw on the move like that. Not at least not countering with no bombs. He was able to outbox Matisse on the back foot, but not on the.
He has been able to back on the back foot, but
yeah, but look at the pace the Matisse fight was at. Like Matisse wasn't pushing him back like the way a Porter. I'm sorry, the way Errol Spence could.
Oh.
Like, cause like Matisse is not as physical as Spence,
but he punches harder.
Yeah,
and he you think Matisse punches harder than Spence?
Punch for punch, yes.
Yes, Matisse damaged Danny in that fight. I mean, I don't know why people say that Danny took
he punched. I don't know if he. Wow.
But Danny was definitely one there, and he was bleeding, and he was peeing blood. Like Matisse put so gave him.
Yeah, he can't hit hard. You're right.
So
I mean, Danny
Spence is more of a accumulation guy.
Yeah,
He does it hard.
Exactly. Like Danny himself still says Matisse is the hardest puncher he ever faced, even harder than Thurman.
Yeah.
Like Thurman's the one who visibly rocked him, hurt him. So you know that tells you.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, like I think if you get to where Danny can't really sit down the counter, I believe you could, that'd be something you could do. Like Porter was doing that in a way where he would dart in and out, and he would push Garcia back and maul him, and then he would use his footwork to kind of outbox and befuddle him.
Yeah, but Porter, I was gonna say Spence can do that. Porter does it at times, but then he smothers his own work, so it gets annoying. Like,
yeah. But see, that's the thing. In the Danny Garcia fight, it didn't matter because he was going to outthrow Danny anyway, and that's really what won him the fight. Because if you look at it, it's not like he landed some good punches on Danny. Like he hardly has any highlights, like great punches in that fight.
In fact, Spence himself thought Danny won that fight.
Bruh, like Porter versus Danny was like athleticism against like skill. Athleticism just overwhelmed skill that night.
And I nailed that fight down to the result too.
Of course, you'd be bragging about that.
Yeah. It was a wonderful night.
So, but yeah, if I had to narrow it down, I'm gonna just say fuck it. I'm gonna just pick Danny Garcia. I think he's gonna catch Spence with something, and Spence isn't gonna recover.
How'd I know you was gonna say that? Because I know when me and Pat pick the same, LB usually goes the other way. So.
No, but remember, I've been speaking on.
No,
I've been favoring Swift in this fight, like from the get go. Like, I just see something in it. Like, it's something in their style. Like, you got an aggressive pressure, volume pressure fighter against a guy who's like a boxer counter puncher, a power counter puncher, boxer.
Let me ask you this. So, which Spence do you think should show up in this fight? Like, which is the best to give him the best chance to take out Danny? Like the Spence that we saw against Algieri, the one against Porter, the one because they were like against Mikey. I don't know. He can go different ways. Spence.
Nah, give me the Spence from the Algieri and the Peterson fights, and the Brook fights. The Spence that come at you, pumping the jab, body shots, head shots, the whole shebang, the whole just beat you down approach, accumulation. Timing you, jab, all of that shit. Just give me that. Just push you backwards. Just boom, 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 boom. It's just he has to keep bringing. He's not a guy that moves his head like that, so he has to just keep his guard up, which he does. Bring his hands back when he punch, like he does, and try to employ some type of subtle head movement or parrying and hope for the best and just march in on Danny Garcia and beat him down. That's what I would say. Like basically how Peterson beat Kendall Holt.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, that fight has a lot of question marks.
Had a lot of what?
Had a lot of question marks.
Oh yeah.
Like who failed the drug test?
Super serum was found on the scene.
Yeah, and no one claimed like, okay, who failed? It was Peterson, and I was probably looking at Peterson in that fight because Lamont looked like he was enraged in that fight.
Yeah, but Holt was winning like the first 3 rounds, like until
low-key, there's always some fuckery in a Holt fight, like every time.
He was like putting hands on Peterson, and Peterson just juggernauted his ass.
Yeah,
but really looked like some juggernaut, like not, slow you to death. It was like,
yeah.
Like he really mowed him down.
Yeah, and Holton never fought again after that shit, because that shit was shit was something else.
But yeah, the Danny Garcia, and this is another thing that I want to keep in mind with Spence as far as employing the footwork tactic. If he moves too much and gets a little too negative, meaning if he's not putting out the same output he was putting out with Mikey, and Danny still up to be with him, and it's gonna. I'm talking about basically look like the Peterson Swift fight, the first half. That could go against Spence on the scorecards. Because the judges are human. People could be looking at it like, damn, maybe the accident did do something to him. He fighting like he not trying to get hurt. You don't want that to be in someone's mind.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that was why I could see him going the other route, option 2, the old Spence.
Mm-hmm.
He's better off for it. I would take the transfer because I don't think he has the footwork to get 7 clean rounds from Swift.
Although from you, I feel like you're a lot lower on Spence's footwork than I am. I don't think his footwork is bad. It's just
no, it's good, but you only really seen it in the Mikey fight, and Mikey. Look, Swift has more heart. They both got the name Garcia, but one of them has a bigger heart, and I think Swift has more heart. Like, I think Swift is gonna have more spirit through 12 rounds. Like, I don't think you could sleep on Swift through 12 rounds. Where Mikey, you could take his spirit away, his soul away early, and you'll be good from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Thurman, he outmaneuvered Swift, but he stayed alert.
Yeah,
Porter, he outmaneuvered Spence. I mean, he outmaneuvered Swift, but he kept throwing just to keep Danny nullified. So you gotta have something that Danny can't deal with, that you gotta be able to do automatically on some like it's effortlessly shit. And I'm trying to think, what does Spence have that he does so good naturally that just instantly nullifies Danny? And that more so, and everybody just pausing, but that's really his offense that does that. So it's best for him to just do it that way.
I mean, basically, Spence is a good combination puncher, but all it's like I said, if Danny just times him in between the punches, and that's what Danny does a lot of the time.
You gotta do some hell of a timing because this ain't American.
But it could be. Like I said, I mean, that's when me taking
it could be, but the same openings ain't gonna be there.
Yeah, which is weird, although because Spence doesn't have that type of I never thought Spence was particularly fast in any way. He doesn't seem fast, but
he seems fast enough. Like I think him and Danny probably got comparable speed. Like I think Danny might be a little quicker hands. But Spence will run the punches longer.
I mean, for Danny to really win this fight, though, honestly, his work ahead, he has to keep busy. Like, he can't be plodding around the ring after this dude. Like, he has to let his hands go. Like, I mean, if he doesn't let his hands go, it's going to be a wrap.
And the funny part is he should, because, he should take it to Spence because Spence doesn't look good going backwards. So, but it's just that I don't think that. I mean, Danny is strong. I think you would have to give the advantage to Spence when it comes to physical strength. So that could backfire, but it could work.
Yeah, but it's the first real puncher and strong person that that Spence is really fighting. Like when you see, this is the thing. It's like, I know everybody keeps overrating Spence and they want to have him be like that guy, whatever, but he just now really facing his first real puncher.
No, I mean, that is true. Listen, and I have my reservations about.
And honestly, we seen this movie. Some light-skinned kid from Florida did this movie a couple years ago. You know, but they keep forgetting about him. But I know Spence's was hot right now. So hey,
Right.
We'll see. But I mean, Spence has his strengths. But that's the thing. I think his strength is his biggest asset. I still think he's out of all the guys in welterweight. I think he's the physically strongest. He's the physical strength. I think he's the strongest. So I think he can use that against Danny, his physical strength.
Yeah,
But
that's when he comes forward. It's his pressure. Like, it's not just the physical strength. It's like he fights where his physical strength is at the forefront, where you really feel it. Like, having him fight away from you, that's good if you got some nigga like Mikey who, you know, if he can't step into you the first couple times, he's just gonna give up. Like, yeah, but you know, Danny might get frustrated, but he's still calculating, looking to clock you with something big.
true, but I mean, in that case, which is funny though, because Mikey has more tools in his toolbox than Danny. But Danny is just more willing to just use the tools regardless of whether he can or not.
But see, this is the thing, like, Danny could counter better in the exchanges. Mikey's not really an exchange counter puncher guy like that. Yeah. He's more of a you punch and he kind of counters, boom. He's not trading with you like that. And that's why I thought Broner had a good shot of beating him, because if Broner would have forced the exchanges, he could have outquicked them in them shits.
Yeah, because Broner did bother Mikey a couple times in those fights. And then he'd keep his hands in his holster and just let Mikey out.
Sometimes you just gotta move your hands, like, or make it seem like you wanna. The guy thinks you're gonna move his hands, and he moves them first, and you just start volleying with him.
Right.
Like, Danny could play that type of fight. Like Mikey, when they get started rough, yeah, Mikey's not that guy like that. Like, think about it. If I feel like if Mikey would have been in the same fight with Thurman that Swift was, remember when Swift got hurt early, and he went from across the ring, and we're like, oh shit. I think Thurman would have KO'd Mikey eventually if he landed that type of shot.
I agree.
Danny ain't let that happen. Like, he recovers better, more of a fighter. So I wouldn't take that chance fighting away from a guy like that. You can't do that forever. Like, nope. Unless your footwork is like Ivan Calderon level or Thurman.
I mean, he doesn't have to get away. I think he can still stand his ground while doing so. Like, it's not running away the whole time. Like I said, he's strong enough to stand his ground. Stand your ground while offsetting Danny.
Yeah, but that works better coming forward, though. Like, if he's trying to be in mid-range, that's Danny's kill zone. And then it's like, then you're wasting the reach, too. But I do feel what you're saying. It's like, honestly, Spence got to do a mixture of both, like you said. It's like, he got to know when to box, he got to know when to bang. He just got to do it all on his terms. But he got to be ready, because I feel like Danny could be with him on each one of those terms. You know? I think that's the best way I can really summarize this shit. Mm-hmm. It's just, Danny's not the favorite, but I just feel like he's due for, you know, he's due for a big one right now. So we went a whole cast speaking Danny, and he didn't do a Herrera name drop. Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, because he didn't pull a Herrera.
And we was talking about jabs tonight. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was saying to use the jab. Like, yeah, like I was expecting like Herrera.
No, there was no need to bring up Herrera. Like I said, you know, how I feel like honestly, I can't ignore what I see as, like, you know, issues. You know, like I said, because Spence did not fight for 2 or anything like that. So like, you know, this nigga's ability to take a punch might be compromised. So it's just like, I mean, you have to take it into consideration. Like, if Danny hits him with one left hook and this nigga drops, it's gonna be like, you can't be surprised.
But honestly, that's what makes this fight real interesting, real good. And I just hope to God, you know, we get a great fight. No one gets seriously injured, and
we may not get that on the undercard. That's for damn shit.
I'm not even gonna speak on that undercard, man. We didn't spoke enough about this fight. That's the only thing that was important. Like, you know, hopefully the undercard come out good. Then yeah, we'll speak about it on the recap. But I ain't starting this damn toaster leaving ass fucking undercard these niggas set up. Especially after this damn Tyson undercard we done had that was amazing. Like,
and they have you would have thought they would have at least have like or at least a good co-main. But yeah, you know, but yeah, you're right.
Like, if y'all gonna throw this trash on there, you may as well give me a YouTube fight. Fuck it. Like if y'all want to play that game, like come on, put on your thinking caps.
So basically, 2 of us for Spence, 1 for Danny Garcia by KO. No, what rounds? If we're doing KO, by what rounds?
Yeah, because usually when we all pick the same person, we all wrong. So maybe one of us will be right this time.
I mean, me and Pete.
You noticed that, right?
Yeah, I do notice that, but for the KO though, what rounds are we thinking for the KO?
Oh wow, damn. For the KO, I'm thinking like maybe 9th or 10th.
Yeah, it's gonna be late. If it's a KO, it's gonna be late.
Yeah, I'm seeing a late KO. So yeah, but I think we're gonna get a good fight though. Like, you know, I think the pride, ego, everything is gonna hit. That Danny knows he has to win this. Spence know he has to win this. It's like somebody will gonna break, man. And you know, I think the guy who hasn't fought the litany of punchers will be the guy who breaks first, aka Errol Spence Jr. Because Danny Garcia, he got that tungsten chin, like that animanium.
Yeah, like I said though, if chin is verified, he's faced enough punchers in his career, vicious puncher, to know that even so, and without dropping.
Like if I got transported to like a video game, like Marvel Capcom type shit, like let me pick Danny Garcia and Joe Joyce. Like I have a guy who could like throw counters. I got, you know, both niggas got chins. Like you got the big dude, you got the Sentinel cat. I mean Juggernaut. So fuck it, like. So we gonna see. There's gonna be bombs away.
Hopefully.
Yeah, bro. Look, we seen how November was. Y'all don't start off December on no bullshit.
Cold winter. Yeah, cold winter.
Yeah. Y'all gotta bring it home out the gate.
Yeah, we got more than enough boxing for December scheduled. So yeah, we're owed several Christmas gifts.
Yeah. I'm hoping for a cold winter, even though the Florida nigga doesn't know what a cold winter is.
I mean, you used to get cold back in the day, like in the 90s.
50 degrees and shit.
65 degrees. Like
no, look, bro. Like, you know me, look. I don't consider it cold unless it gets to like 40. That's when like you gotta put on like a decent jacket. Like 65, 60 degrees is good. Like that's like, let's play ball. Like go to the beach. Now when you get into 50s, now you're talking about like, okay, you can get a little sweater. But 40s is officially cold.
Well, facts.
Yeah, you know, I ain't one of these Florida niggas that's on some, man, it got 72 today. It's kind of cold. Like, nigga, what you talking about? It was like 68 last night. I had to get my damn jacket out. I had to get the North Face. Like, nigga.
Oh man, no. But so yeah. Do we have any final thoughts before we sign out for the night? LB, do you have any final thoughts?
Oh man, yeah, final thoughts. Remember, it's ringgame radio.com for life.
Yes, sir.
I got the Soul Wars comic up in the store right now, so y'all always hear me say the Soul Wars creators. So if y'all ever wanna purchase the comics, are like 20 pages, about 5 issues. You know, it's my comic where it blends boxing, hip hop, fantasies, fighting, all that fly shit. So it's up there now, so y'all can check that out anytime. Y'all place your order, you'll get that shit within 24 hours. Sent to you, download, boom, boom, PayPal, bada bing, bada boom. Other than that, I'm still working on the cartoon episode 3. Just gonna be big. It's amazing. Just finished the script, got the dialogue on point.
Yes, sir.
So we gonna get them vocals in. Got that Alone single out. Y'all check out the streaming platforms. Alone is out. Pretty soon I'm gonna drop the full album, Salute to God. Y'all know what it is. So just stay tuned, ringgameradio.com, man. Shout out to the rest of the squad. Y'all already know.
Yes, sir. AOP, man, do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, you already know what it is. Ring Game Radio all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with us. We got the drip. We saucy.
Hey.
Fuck with us. Ringgangradio.com. You already know the vibes. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We everywhere.
Yes, sir. There's nothing else for me to really add on. So it's Ring Gang for life. This Ring Gang shit is so in us. Like I said, so tell your friends, and your friends could tell their friends, and then we could all be friends. Like I said, because we got that John Blaze shit that you want and you need to hear. So like I say, so you just need to get down with us. And of course, and PJ obviously, PJ also, echoes our sentiments too. He's currently exposed up right now. So, but yeah, a lot of shit coming up. A couple more prediction videos and stuff like that, and maybe one more Forgotten Fate article before the year is out, for sure. Yep, and also make sure you keep checking the website and everything. The website is everything. You find all our shit up on there. So, save it, bookmark it, tell your friends, put it on your Facebooks, everywhere. You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. So for myself, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative. For L, be sure to work the God, the GOAT artist. For King P, Bodega P. And this has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk, where as always, it's shit's real, we talk about it. So, until next time, peace.